Hello, quilt friends. Welcome to the Laurel Wreath Sew Along. I'm Heather Peterson. I'm the designer behind the Anka's Treasures pattern line. So our pattern for a sew along was designed by me. And this pattern was designed in conjunction with my In From the Cold fabric line from Riley Blake Designs. It just came out in the last month or so. So when I was sharing all of the projects I was going to be making with the collection, I had several people ask if I was going to do a sew along with the grouping. And so since I have to make these quilts anyways, the pattern cover just has a digital quilt on it. So since I have to make the quilt anyways, I thought I would just post a series of videos and you can sew along with me if you want to. And by the end of our 10-week sew along, you will have completed your Laurel Wreath quilt. So let's talk a little bit about how the sew along will work. So I'm going to post a weekly video on Friday mornings on Instagram sharing what this week's assignment will be. I will also post all of those videos on my YouTube channel, and my plan is to have all of the videos on YouTube posted right away. So if you're someone who doesn't want to wait around for the sew along, you can just go over to the YouTube channel and all of the videos will be posted there so you can work at your own pace. If you would like to have just weekly assignments, those will be posted on Instagram, where every Friday I will come and post the video on what we're gonna do. And this sew along is gonna be a little different than what I've done in the past. In the past, I've done the sew alongs as a teaching tool, and I've picked a pattern that's a little bit more difficult, so it requires a little bit of extra help. This particular pattern is, even though it looks, fairly detailed and complicated, it's a simple pattern to make. It's mainly done with folded corners. There's a couple strip units, a couple half square triangles, and a few points to line up, but it's nothing that I feel like requires like a long video. So each week there'll just be a video that's a couple minutes long, and we'll show you what we're going to be doing for the week. So at the end of this video, I'll just post a screenshot, or I will post a picture of what our schedule will be, and you can just take a screenshot of it, and that way you'll know to follow along, or what we're going to be doing each week. So this week we're going to be doing the gathering of the fabric and the pattern and the cutting. So you will just need your usual sewing supplies, your machine and iron and cutters, maybe a few marking tools for making the folded corners and half square triangles, and then you'll need to get the pattern either from your favorite retailer, or we have them as well. We also have PDF versions if you want your pattern in a hurry. And you will also need your fabric supplies. So you can ask your favorite shop to put a kit together for you. You can shop your own stash and put together your own kit. Or if you would like one that looks just like this, you can also reach out to us at ankastreasures.com, and I've got several kit options on my website. So the main one here is what I've mainly been selling and shipping out to people, but you can also do it with a cream background, and I also have an option using my Market Street collection. So what you're gonna need is a background fabric. This is what I chose for mine in this navy. Then you're gonna need 4 teal prints that you can use for the teal flowers. So that is right here. Then you're going to need, get those off to the side, you will need 2 reds and 2 corals, and there should be a little bit of contrast between those prints because you want the piecing to show here on your red flowers. Then you're going to need 4 greens. So here are the greens that I picked, and again you can see there's a little bit of contrast between some of them. This one's a little darker, these are a little lighter, some of them are printy. You're also going to need 2 creams. So those are the creams that I picked for mine, for this flower. And then you'll also need a gold for the centers of your red and teal flowers. And then I picked one of my reds to be my border, and I used one of my teals for my binding. And then you're going to need like 4 3/4 yards for backing. The quilt is 78.5 by 78.5 finish. So you can gather up those supplies, and then you're going to work on the cutting. So the cutting is on pages 1 through 3 of the pattern. So the cutting will take you just a little bit. And my main hint for doing the cutting is to label each piece. So like when you get to the cutting here, you can see there's a little red number behind what you cut. That is how you're gonna label your piece. You look at that red letter, and if it says 1, then you put a 1 and pin it to your piece and label it, so that when you get to assembling the pattern, and it'll tell you, gather up the background pieces for step 2, you'll have them all labeled, and it will make that process so much easier. So that's just what we have for this week is just doing the cutting. Next week we're going to do the teal flowers, and the next week we're going to do the white flowers. So the first couple weeks are fairly laid back. It'll probably take you longer to cut it than it will to do the piecing on those steps. So you know, if you don't get all the cutting done this week, don't worry about it. You can also do some of it next week in conjunction with your teal flowers. Or if you're getting your kit a little bit late, you know, don't panic or anything. You can just work on the cutting as you go. And if you follow along with us, by the end of the 10-week period, you will have your completed quilt top. So I think a sew along is a great way to stay on task and keep on schedule so that this quilt is completed in a timely manner. So if you have any questions for me, make sure you leave them in the comments on this post or over on the YouTube channel. There's a fly going around my head here. Nice timing. I'm not going to start over with my video now. Anyways, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I hope you enjoy sewing along with me on this project. We'll see you back here next week on Friday morning.